welcome to the Swift Half, your weekly session of chat from the UK OCR and adventure running scene. Each week, pub landlord Alan and our favourite regular Ian discuss races, runners and anything else that comes to mind. So pull up a pew, pour yourself a drink and join us for the Swift Half.
Ian, oh, it's not Ian. It's not Ian. Oh, no, listeners. I've got a new person with me tonight. Ian is away in Sweden, so it's Swift Half with my good friend, Will Chung. How are you, Will?
Well, it's funny nice that you get to call me by my real name, because I think every time I come on as a guest or some point, I'm always called Ian first, and I never get called Ian first. But no, I am very well, Alan. I'm very, very well. It only somehow it feels like about 24 hours since I last saw you. But how are you?
I'm all good. Day at work today. England playing football on Wednesday. They did. Well done to England. Performed really, really well, didn't they? I know you're wearing your England shirt with pride there. In support of the boys.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Friday morning. I've been wearing it for the past few days. Probably getting a bit smelly now, but yeah, I'm very proud of how they did.
Me too. What a week we've had. What a week we've had. I mean, me and you, we record early this week. WTM coming out on Monday. HQ spoke to us. Oh, I mean, they're evil. Absolutely evil. But what a good chat we had, didn't we?
We were just saying just before we started recording, I really enjoyed chatting with. I always enjoy chatting with TMHQ, and the secrets that they revealed is second to none. Clearly, I mean, what did you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, we've put it on YouTube, we've put it on social media. It comes out Monday. If you listen to this before Monday, you've got to watch it on Monday. We've got a puzzle piece release. And that, which was absolutely phenomenal that we've actually done that. And we're going to, we can't tell everyone everything, but we didn't find some good stuff out. So people are going to have to wait and listen to that. And I think we should talk about WTM before we go into the whole podcast. But I've got to find out, first of all, Will, what you're drinking.
Well, some would actually call me a Tough Mudder honk. I don't know who, and I don't know where they've got it from, but I am actually drinking my coffee from my Tough Mudder mug, and actually it's True Start coffee. They're actually a new sponsor of Tough Mudder, so actually bloody lovely. So if you're into proper coffee, then True Start is really nice. And if you get to go to Tough Mudder, they are giving away coffee bags as samples, and I've been really filling my boots. Their coffee is lovely, True Start coffee. So yeah, I've got that. And also, just to get me going, and I know Ben is a Patreon member. He's entrepreneur of Water. I saw him a couple of weeks ago in Henley. He's given me this, and I'll probably drink it later on because, of course, it's Friday and I really need to get going. But this is a new drink, which is, I guess, premium. Well, it is premium energy, zero sugar, carbonated energy drink with taurine, caffeine, B vitamins, and sweeteners. So I'll let you know how that tastes later on, because I'm sure I'll need it.
I've just stood up. I don't know if you can hear me. I've just stood up because I've got some of that here, and I don't know what I've done with it. I've got about 12 cans of. Well, I did have 12 cans. I'm about halfway down them. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. It's called water for everyone else, but Water up north. But it tastes really crisp and fresh. Can't wait till you taste it later. It's absolutely so crisp, so fresh, and it is refreshing. I love it. It's perfect.
And I know we're kind of going off topic already, or we're kind of not, because we're talking about World's Toughest Mudder. But have you seen their collaboration? They're actually bringing out, or what I've seen on TikTok, it looks like they are bringing out a special World's Toughest Mudder can of water.
Oh, now that's going to be proper cool, isn't it? I get Tough Mudder can of water. I wonder what the Americans are going to think about it. They're going to come over here and go, "Water? What's water?"
Absolutely amazing. Anyway, Alan, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking what I've been drinking for the last few weeks. But you've told me my Swedish premium cider called Alska is actually, Alska means something. What does it mean love? Did you tell me?
It means love. So I have a lot of Swedish friends. I think actually Meg from the other podcast, she's learning to speak Swedish too. But one of the first things I learned to speak in Swedish was "I love you," and it's "Jag älskar dig," and "älska." So the älska, which is the Swedish for love, that's what you're drinking, love cider.
I've got vision of you now. Whenever you go to Alaska, just telling everyone you rock up to, "I love you." That's like.
I won't tell you what other things I was shouting out when I was young and yeah, yes, I won't say anything.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit about Tough Mudder. The hype's there all the week. The hype's been there. We got puzzle pieces galore coming out as we recorded this. Couple more puzzle pieces come in. Now, me and you are not. I can't say we're not very good at like putting things together, but we thought we would be lazy, didn't we? We thought we'd be lazy. We would put the puzzle pieces together really lazily. And now if you are watching on YouTube, you have got to have a look at what it's come up with. Now we need to describe this for our listeners, Will. So this is the Midland 2026 Will's Toughest Mudder Man, according to Gemini. What are you liking best about it, Will?
Well, of course, there were a couple of pieces that we wanted to add it in. And it's done very well. It's added the first piece, the piece that we wanted to add in, and it's done that really, really well. But as listeners or watchers will be able to see, it then adds in number 17, then to number 1, which is really weird. Then there's not a number, then there's number 2. But your start line is at number 5, which is really, really weird. And Alan, I think it's actually come up with some, because at this moment in time, we don't know what any of the obstacle names are. We've seen some parts of words. So Gemini's had a really good go at filling in some of the words. Alan, do you want to just read some of those out?
This is the best part of it all. So we've got greedy nincompoop. We know that one. Everyone knows that one. We'll let you guess it if you don't know it. But then we've got bear crawl. We've got both crawl, whatever both crawl is. Up them, gravine. I think it's shelf erigel, whatever that means. Jolt, gruttage mall. Mudders mire, forest funnels, deep water area, mile water area, and mile marker. Obstacle 20 mile marker. That's oh no. What it's come up with is absolutely it's made me laugh so much.
And so it's made me laugh because, of course, we've got it to add a new puzzle piece, which we've just got before recording. It's not even bothered adding that one in, and then in the other corner, it starts making up words. So this map, blah, 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 Mudders Maya, blah, Fin late ever to ignite voived. It I'm wood frau a sipe then in the trunnel lure. So I really don't know what's going on there. I'm a big fan of Gemini, but it really hasn't done its job this time. But then I did say kind of answer now. So maybe if I gave it a bit more time, it would have come up with something a bit more interesting. But I think, what would you think about having 20 obstacles before your first mile, Alan?
See, that's going to be so much. That would be absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? 20 obstacles before your first mile and then a 4-mile run. That would be absolutely crazy.
I was actually thinking the other way. What if you've got basically 100 obstacles in your 5 mile? Now that would be crazy.
Oh, one lap.
You'd be done.
It would be one lap, wouldn't it? If you had 100 Tough Mudder style obstacles, let's just talk how big they are and all of that lot. 100 in a 5-mile lap, that's going to be one. Well, what's that? 20 a mile.
20 every mile.
20 every mile. That's 1.6k. So that's like literally one every 40 meters.
Yeah.
So every 40 meters you get an obstacle. big ones like that. I mean, we've got to be talking a 5-hour lap. You'd have to be talking a 5-hour lap.
One every 80. I'll master a bit wrong, but one every 80 meters. That's still a lot. Just imagine if you had to do, because let's say you repeat some of those obstacles. Imagine if you had to do 20 hero wars in 1 mile.
This is like, I mean, in one way, I'm thinking
20 Devil's Beard.
No. That's a no on that one. But my brain's trying to get this round. Like, I'm thinking, wow, what an obstacle course that would be. 100 obstacles in a 5-mile loop. But then I'm thinking, hang a minute here. That's just like, that is really, really not possible. When we look at some of the obstacle course races that we've had in the UK that are so obstacle dense. And we get quite a lot of these, OPP 400, which happened last week. Come on, obstacle dens. We had them down at Bodio. We've got them down at PT Barn. We've got them up at Fit Body Farm. We've got them all over the country. These short, 400 meters style obstacle course races. Every obstacle pack, very little running in between them. Imagine doing that one race. That's at 400 meters. Doing that, would that be So it's 1, 2, 3, that's 4 every mile. So, you got 20 times doing 20 laps of that. That would be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, no. As much as I like obstacles, that would be a no from me. Thanks.
If these 2 people could do it, yeah, I'm going to tell the names now. Ramonas Wickers and Shyla Dehaney. Those are the 2 people that could do it. 1 male, 1 female. They would just smash it day in, day out, them 2. There's probably others, but for me, them 2 would just be, they'd be there. In fact, they'd go around just for an extra lap, just for fun of it. I'm sure they would.
How funny, because those 2 are the names which I would have thought of. And actually, I know they'd finish with a smile as well. They'd love it.
Ramonas never stops smiling. You know what I mean? Even when he's trying to think of like really evil things to come up for his race that he's putting on later this year, I'm pretty certain that he's constantly smiling about it and stuff like that. So yeah. But Tough Mudder, are we excited about it, Will? Are we excited for Will's Toughest?
I'm really excited. Again, listeners, everyone should know that I'm, again, not running, but I am doing media. So I'm out getting interviews and trying to speak as many people as I can over Friday, which is setup day. I will be there for the race on Saturday night, Sunday, and I will also be there for brunch. So I'm excited just to talk to everyone again. I absolutely loved it last year, loving it this year. I'm excited because so many other people are excited. There's some new people not done it before. There's lots of returning people that are coming back. So, we talk about all those contenders. We've got so many adaptive athletes coming as well. And what I'm now really excited about is I am going to be running a media lap with Iris, who is a social media manager. And the aim for me is to get her to run Tough Mudder because she's never done a Tough Mudder before. So I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm really, really excited, Alan. How about you?
A race. I've said this before. It's my A race this year. It's the one I've been aiming for. I'm as ready as I can be. I'm as fit as I can be. I'm not injury free, but that's not me. Not just making an excuse. I'm gonna rest everything. So when I go in, I'm gonna be at my best. And I think I said to you on our Tough Mudder podcast the other day that last time I rested 3 weeks before a race, I actually went out and did my best ever result. So I'm hoping for similar results. Looking forward to spending my time in the Scottish camp, up the Scots. I'm hoping Scotland are playing that weekend. It'd be absolutely brilliant in the World Cup. Don't listen back, Scottish people. Don't listen back to the Monday's podcast, please. I didn't mention anything about Scotland on that whatsoever.
Whilst we're talking about the Scots, Alan, did you see or have you seen on Instagram, TikTok, all the videos of the Scottish people over in Boston at this moment in time?
I haven't, no.
They are doing the whole of the United Kingdom and Scotland proud. They are absolutely loving it over there. The Yanks are loving them. You should go do search for something like Scotland Tartan Army Fenway Park, because they went to watch the baseball. All they were doing was just singing the whole way through. Everyone was absolutely loving it. And in Glasgow, where they've got the famous statue, I can't remember the name of who it is, but they've got the famous statue with the traffic cone on the head. Do you know that one?
Yes, I've seen that one.
Well, apparently now in Boston, there are several statues that now have traffic cones on their head.
Oh, I love it.
But they seem to be having an absolutely fantastic time. The Yanks are loving them, and actually they're doing it well. They're having a great time. They're doing what they want to do, but they're actually being quite respectful as well, which is absolutely fantastic. But I did love seeing the traffic cones on statues' heads in Boston. It's amazing.
I'm going to go Google that now. I'm going to go Google that. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to it, Will. It's going to be a great weekend. We're trying a new campsite ourselves, so me and Paul are going down on Thursday night or Friday morning. I'm not sure which, but we're stopping at a different campsite, a little bit further away than we did last year. But it's got better walks for Betty, so Paula can take Betty for a nice little walk. But yeah, we will be there. We'll be doing the walk around on the Friday afternoon. We'll be checking out the obstacles. I know we're going to have some footage from yourself out there on our Facebook and YouTubes and wherever we put it. It'll be wherever we can get it, guys. So keep an eye out on this space. But yeah, excited. And I'm excited to see the Brits do well. And I'm excited as well to see the adaptive athletes, Will. So a quick update on the adaptive athletes, because I have mentioned the adaptive. We've been trying to get a adaptive athlete podium. As you know, we tried to a little bit, and there is going to be an adaptive athlete podium. Which is absolutely amazing.
That's amazing.
It is. There's trophies already made. There's full category of females as well in upper limbs. There's 2 lower limb males and 2 visually impaired males. So I think you've got this 7 competitive people running all together, which is absolutely amazing. So we're going to have trophies, I think, celebrating these athletes that are taking on one of the toughest events in the world. It is one of the toughest OCR events in the world, whatever anyone says. I think it's just there, just behind the Farmyard Jam. Little plug for Farmyard Jam there. It is one of the toughest in the world. It's just great to get adaptive athletes hoping to do like big mileage. I know there's some people going out there hoping for them 50 bibs plus, so it's great news. Can't wait to see the mountain course.
I didn't know that they'd had podium now. I'm really excited because I know Jamie and everyone has been kind of really fighting for this. If you remember, I mentioned that, you know what, Tough Mudder are a business, and if there's enough people wanting to do this and enough people sign up, they will do it. And here we are. And so I think this is absolutely fantastic. Of course, I think Jamie, of course, would do very well. He's done World's Toughest Mudder before, so he knows what he's up against, never mind all the obstacles and everything else. He's a Legionnaire, he's a 100+ Legionnaire, so he really knows Tough Mudder, the obstacles, and World's Toughest Mudder. So he's such a great obstacler anyway. So I do expect him to do very well. But I think having a podium and competitiveness in this type of obstacle race, it's just amazing. I'm honestly, I'm astounded. But everyone can see it. I've got a massive smile on my face because it's such great news.
It is. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'm giddy for it and everything else. So yeah, I can't wait. But there's another race going off the same week as World's Toughest Mudder in Yorkshire, which is disappointing. And last week we gave a free ticket away for it, which, free ticket, which is absolutely fantastic. However, Steve, who won the free ticket, it's actually cost him a little bit of money, Will. So not from our point, because we gave him the free ticket, but guess how much it's cost him?
I'm assuming if he's had the free ticket and you've paid for it, there may be a transfer fee, because of course transfer fees. So I'd say something like a tenner.
I'm going to shock you. It's cost him 143 quid, Will.
Jesus Christ. What did you not pay for your ticket and you kind of transferred a place to pay for the ticket? Is this what you did? I know you're from Yorkshire, Alan, but that's taking the biscuit, really.
I know where you're coming from, but no, we had a genuine free ticket. I purchased a genuine free ticket in no name, so there was no transfer fee for Steve. However, he gets a free ticket. His wife wants to go. His missus wants to go. 143 quid. Boom. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Look, that actually has made me laugh. On the other hand, you can kind of look at it a different way, which is probably how you'd look at Alan. £70 each. So actually, it's not so bad.
It's not. No, I think we bought it early price. I'm going to say I bought it early price. I think I paid 90 something pound for it on an early bird ticket. Or UK OCR did, not me personally. UK OCR did. So that's why we gave it away to one of our patrons and that. So it was absolutely amazing. But do you want to have a quick look at the Total Warrior 12K map, Will?
Yes, please.
So here we are. We've talked about the Tough Mudder map. So this is Total Warrior 12K, and this is not AI generated. This is absolutely genuine, which I think is good. Did you know that in the 3 days leading up to the Saturday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at Total Warrior, they have over 6,000 youngsters take on a shorter version of this course?
I did. I am a huge fan of Total Warrior. And you know, when you was looking to give that ticket away, I immediately looked at my account and go, okay, can I do it? And it clashed, which is why I've not bought the ticket this year for Total Warrior. But I know that they do massive amounts for schools in the run up, which, you know, we just talked about that and laughed about the £143, but that's where a lot of the money goes back into sports for kids and getting them active. So I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Exactly. Those kids don't pay anything. They're all from schools in the local area. They come, they take on a shorter version of course, and it's the money that people pay to run it on a Saturday and a Sunday that actually helps cover their insurance costs for them youngsters. 6,000 youngsters, absolutely phenomenal. But this is the course. They don't change the course very often, but they have got a few little changes this year. And I love Total Warrior. I've loved it right from the start. You know, I think Bramham Park, where it's held in just outside Leeds, is a great place. Sponsored by Northern Monk again this year, so I know they give beer away, which is absolutely fantastic. But your first obstacle, leg it up the hills. I'm sure it's up the hills, isn't it? Leg it and up the hill, and the Alps is all up and down.
Yep. Yeah, it's a right lung burner right at the beginning because it's switchbacks. It's horrible.
Mixes it all up as well, doesn't it? You know, it mixes the field up, so you get the better runners spread out a little bit more. Because then you go into the Alps, which, if I remember rightly, isn't that two pyramid type style obstacles that you go up and down over?
Yes.
Grand National, which are I'm just assuming they're the walls. I don't know what they are, but then you get into the field, into the woods area. We have got human barbecue. The best pictures you are ever going to get at any OCR. The only pictures to match it to me are Nuclear's death slide. You know, if you're going to have two pictures, you want the fire jump at Total Warrior, the human barbecue, or you want the death slide. That's the only pictures that you'd ever.
Do you know who does the best? Do you know who does the best death slide pictures?
Oh gosh, go on.
Becky Neal. Her death slide pictures are absolutely amazing.
In what way? Does she do backflips?
She does one of two poses, either the pencil, so just dead straight, or the kind of the starfish, and both of them almost kind of split second perfect, smiling, looking at the camera, and a great pose. You should. I mean, of course, she's the queen of nuclear, so of course she's going to get great photos. But yeah, you should look back at her nuclear photos. Amazing.
You know what nuclear should do? I've got it now. You know, over in America, they have these water parks and they have these bombing competitions where people dive off the top stages and do like strange poses. Nuclear should just have, you know, I don't know, Sunday afternoon, 3 till 4 o'clock, everyone gets to go down to the death slide and do the poses. And that's the
You remind
competition.
me of, do you remember the John Smith's beer ad?
Oh,
No?
yeah. With the football.
Top bombing.
Oh, the top bombing one, yeah.
But talk about that. I do think nuclear gives some form of prize for the most favorited picture from the death slide. I'm sure people can put it up, and it's like the photo with the most likes of that tagged picture gets a prize. I'm sure they do that already.
Oh, we need to share that next time we do that. Next one. Number 5, mud moguls, absolute killer. They are proper muddy down there. Trenches and 7 cement mixer. It's just one big mud fest all down there.
Yeah.
8 shocker, electric shock. Now this one, number 9, Bonnie Banks. I can't remember this one whatsoever.
I don't recall it either. That's normally where you do the dip, isn't it, into the water? So I wonder whether has that moved.
Well,
that may have moved.
I think the water might be. I know what number 20 the waterfall is, so I guess it could be. I can't see.
It was one like it's like hydrophobia. That's where you normally are, and you basically do a kind of a full submersion in an ice bath and then out again. It's normally where that one is, but Shocker and Bonnie Banks don't ring a bell for that type of obstacle.
Okay. It doesn't say it's water obstacle on the thing, so and I was looking at that for water obstacle, so it doesn't say that. 10 slide away, and 11 leap of faith. We know what those are. It's the slide, it's the big water jump.
Yeah.
12, another water obstacle here. Swing or swim. Do you think this could be a bit like King of the Swingers or something like that?
I would hope it's something like that. How cool would that be?
You know, they haven't had it, so I'm thinking, new obstacle for them. Fingers crossed. Everyone's going, let us know. I'm going to ask Steve. Sprint King, they always have this. It's not an obstacle, but it doesn't give you a lung buster. And they always do it uphill as well, don't they?
Yes. Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh, killer. Below and Beyond, that's a new one to me. I don't know what that one is.
It's new because actually I think that used to be then probably number 8 was Shocker, because it was like a electric shock therapy type obstacle straight after that sprint at that point. So maybe they've moved things around.
Cool. Worm Muncher, that's the crawl. I know that one. YouTube, that's the tubes into water, I believe. Don't go into water on them tubes.
Yep.
Mud Bomb, Mud Mound, again, lots of mud in there. Now, Jailbreak, is this the one where you're going along them bars? They have some bars over water that you have to go through.
That's right. Yeah. And then you hang and get across as far as you can, but you're always going to go into the water, which then takes you straight into the waterfall, which is climbing up and over the big pyramid whilst the water's coming down. That's right, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's exactly what I think it is. Warrior walls, normal walls, log it, carrying a log. Yep. Hangover. Now, I think Hangover is the ice bath.
Okay. Possibly.
Because the next one is Hang Tough, which is their monkey bars.
Monkey bars, yep.
Yep. To Peaks of Pain, which is not a quarter pipe, it's a straight up, not vertical wall, like pyramid style wall with a rope on.
That's right, yep. And then there's a short, like 200-meter sprint, isn't there, to the finish and to your beer.
Yes, and to get your beer and your medal and all the photos. So, Total Warrior, anyone going, please, and hang around the event village. The event village is always, it's going to be one of the best event villages. Because it's massive. I mean, think Tough Mudder and Spartan, then double it. You know, it's absolutely, there's plenty of room to sit down. If the weather's great, it's, sat on that grassy area with a few beers. And I think Northern Monker, they send a little bar there as well, which is, I think the beer prices last time I went were quite reasonable. I think it was like about £4 a pint. So,
well, you're in Yorkshire, aren't you, Alan? So £4 or £5 a pound is probably quite expensive for you, isn't it?
£4 or £5 a pound. It's I was at Barnsley Beer Festival last week, and it was good. It was £4.40 a pint, which I thought was reasonable. And that maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was reasonable. But one of the things I did like, Will, is that you it didn't matter which beer you got. So whether you went for like a session beer, which is like 3%, or one of the stronger beers, one of the stouts that was like, I think it was some 7 and 8% there, they were still £4.40.
Ooh.
So no difference in price. I think over 50 beers, but it was absolutely amazing.
Brilliant. But I just going back to Total War, I would absolutely second it. If the weather is good, the atmosphere, because they either sometimes they have live music, but they definitely have DJ and music going on. Loads of different food vendors, and I think if I remember, they're all independent type food vendors. The after party is amazing.
Without a doubt, I love it. I love it. We touched on nuclear just then. Before we came on, I saw that there's a price rise coming up, Will. So coming up very shortly. I mean, look at these prices. These are quite good. Do you think it's a good price for me? 12K Fallout price, currently £84. You get your T-shirt, you get your medal, you know, everything. 7th of November, great price. We'll take on the 6K course, £74. Pay extra tenner is what I'd be telling people. Well, what about you?
Absolutely. I love nuclear. I've not done it for a while because it always bloody clashes with Tough Mudder. And, you know, I'm always been a season pass holder. I love nuclear. I actually will go back again. Those prices, especially the 12K, absolutely, you know, really, really reasonable. And we know how much fun people have at a nuclear. And you know what? If nothing else, that Tinder dating profile picture while she's going down the death slide, that's the one to have.
Too right. Now, a little bird tells me last week you left the UK to go and take on a OCR in a different country.
I did. I don't know which little bird told you that, but I headed off to the Netherlands and I did a race called Mudmasters. It was just south of Amsterdam. I stayed in The Hague because, you know, when it's off season, I'm doing loads of park runs and I'm on the park run alphabet challenge. Z, you can't do in the UK. So I managed to get a Z, which is Zouder Park in The Hague, and then take on a brand new obstacle course race that I've never done. It's not a new obstacle race. It's actually been going for about 15 years. I think I've seen 15th season. So it's not new, but it was new to me. Loved it.
Cool. What letters do you need for your alphabet now then?
I think I've got about 8 left. I'm doing I later on this week or tomorrow. But I've got like G to go. I've got an S. I thought I would have done an S, but I've got an S. And I've also got J, which is quite difficult because there's one in St Albans, Jersey Farm, or Jersey itself. Now I'm kind of planning maybe going to do Jersey.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I noticed the day that Jersey Golf Club was up for sale for £10 million. You're not going over there to buy Jersey Golf Club and do Jersey Park Run at the same time.
Well, you never know. I may win the lottery at some point. So let me tell you a little bit about Mudmasters. For those, obviously everyone knows about obstacle races. I would suggest it's very much a mix of Tough Mudder and Spartan in the types of obstacles, more towards the Tough Mudder side. So some really big obstacles. I sent you some pictures, Alan, and I'm sure maybe we'll share them on YouTube or something. But they've got massive slide, absolutely brilliant. They've got monkey bars, of course. They got some slightly harder ones. So they did have like rigs and other things, but there's of course no penalties. But the one that I really liked, and I will obviously I'll put my hand up, I chickened out and did this one, was what I would call Walk the Plank 2.0. And hopefully we'll edit in this video at this moment in time. But just imagine standing at the top of Walk the Plank. So Walk the Plank, basically you're on a high platform about 3 or 4 meters high and you jump into the water. You don't jump into the water, you just stand there. And then at any given time, the floor drops away and you fall into the water.
Oh, wow. I mean, that was pretty cool. And anyone who's on YouTube now, they can actually watch it. But it is quite cool. But so who controls the plank wheel on this?
Well, that's a funny thing. You've got the volunteers that control the plank. So you could go at any point. They might be nice and you might say, hey, I'd like a 3, 2, 1 go. But you can see here, there were people going like in 3 or 4 seconds. These guys, as this video is going, you saw the people in orange walked up afterwards and went first. And then the guys that have just gone probably waited 5 or 6 seconds. And you'd never know when you're going to be falling into that water. That was, for me, like, absolutely not. It looks great, and I'm sure I will go and do it another time. But that was scary enough for me to watch. There were several courses. There was a 6K, 12K, and a 16K. I did the 16, of course, to try and get in all of the obstacles. But the other really interesting. I'll talk about the medal whilst we've got that up. Isn't that a beautiful medal? And I'm sure we've talked about medals before. I guess the shocking thing is that the medal was optional. And when I say optional, you had to pay for your medal.
Okay. And I get that. I have seen that at some events, not an OCR, but I have seen it at some like road ringing events where you pay extra for a medal. How much was it?
€10. Okay.
And it's a good medal. People on YouTube have just seen it. If you're on listening to us while you're out running, it's a very classy medal. I like it how it's the metal, and then you've got just a big a blob of yellow. Not a blob of yellow, but you've got a big yellow band at the top with 3 runners on it.
With that yellow represents, I think they call it the pyramid, but they start the race running up that bloody hill. So actually and I think it's man-made hill, honestly, which is why it's kind of on it looks like steps of like a bit like a pyramid, and it's probably the highest point in the Netherlands. So you actually, to be fair, you're only climbing maybe 50 meters at the very most. But you're doing that at the very, very beginning of the race. So it is quite hardcore. The other thing which was really, really interesting is that, so you've got the 6, the 12 and the 16K race. You've also got what they call the family race. So this is families running together, kids and their parents or guardians who have a 12 and a 5 or a 5K version to go. You both go off in the same start pen together. And then the last, I would say about kilometer and a half, so maybe about a mile, you're running that together as well. So you're both doing what is a version of Mud Mile, a version of Kiss of Mud, and a version of Pyramid Scheme with these kids.
Oh, that's pretty cool, that. I love it when you can mix a race up with children and things like that. In terms of, when Ali was younger, me and Ali used to do quite a few OCRs together. We did Mud, Sweat and Beers together. We did Sheffield Steel or Steelman of Sheffield together. Muddy Furlong. Just those races where you can actually run with your children and get your children into sport. There isn't enough of them. You know what I mean? I've got to admit, there isn't enough of them. And kids these days, they want to do nothing but go on the phones, don't they? But that's going to stop soon, hopefully. So maybe we might see an influx of OCR.
You know what? As an idea, I think it's a great idea, getting everyone to mix up together. Personally, I'd rather have not had the kids out. I kind of feel as though I might be running over them or something like that. But it was such a wild thing, because of course, and we're not just talking 10, 11, 12-year-olds. We're talking like 4, 5, 6-year-olds also running that bit of the course together with their parents and guardians. A couple of other things that I really liked about Mudmasters. One is they started on the Friday night, so there was race Friday night all the way through Saturday, all the way through Sunday. I got there kind of Sunday afternoon, and there were still crowds coming through, so it looked as though it was one hell of a busy weekend. But I was able to get there by public transport, so I got the train, and then there's a bus goes past every 10 minutes, and it goes from Amsterdam to Schiphol Airport and back again. So it was really easy for me to then, once I got changed, got on the bus, 15 minutes later I was at Schiphol Airport ready to get my flight. So I think that's something that we in the UK miss. Is there's not many obstacle races where you can get to relatively easily. Of course, Tough Mudder used to have the races in the park and Finsbury Park and Eaton Park and things like that. I think if we were to try and do that more, maybe it becomes much more accessible. But for me, a lot of the European races that always seem to be so much more easily accessible than anything that we see in the UK. I wish we could do that more here.
Did you find that the new, I mean, me and Ian talked about the new airport regulations, because obviously Ian's over in Sweden at the minute and doing the World Championships. But did you find it easy to get through when you're going through the Netherlands? And
I had no issue. So going out from Manchester, couple of minutes kind of there, and then once I got to the other side in Amsterdam, the only the only kind of hold up, so maybe 5-10 minutes, but that was only because they only had 2 immigration officers on at that point and loads of people coming in. And then within about 5 minutes, they then had 6 or 7 immigration officers coming through. So you know what, waiting 10 minutes in immigration was no hardship. And then on my way out, coming back into Manchester, that was a couple of minutes. So I've not had any issues so far. And I've been through ESS for a few times now already, and that 10 minutes has probably been the longest wait I've had so far when I've been out in Europe.
Okay, that's pretty good to know that other countries are making it work, and some are not. I don't know. I know Ian's got through. He did message me and told me he got through, and I'm presuming because I've seen things on TikTok and that is through and everything else. Just while we're talking about Ian and fitness racing, there were a bit of news that came out late last week, which we didn't mention, which was Libby Joyce is the new DECA Youth Race Director. So big congratulations to Libby on that. You know, she's working hard. She's working with Greendale Performance Centre and doing things out there. So big shout out to Libby.
Oh, so yes, I think that's amazing, and it kind of turns full circle. But just coming back and harking back, I ran with Libby. I don't know whether you remember this, Alan, at Total Warrior about 5 or 6 years ago. She was like 13, 14, and she didn't have anyone to run Total Warrior with her because I think Katie was injured or something. So you guys shouted, "Hey, Will, do you want to do Total Warrior? Do you want to go for another lap of Total Warrior?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" And so I took Libby around, and I probably was slowing her down. So yeah. I don't know whether she remembers, but it was great fun, and it was great to kind of run with what is now an elite athlete. But yeah, I managed to just about keep up with her. But no, I think that's fantastic. It's kind of, you know, that's where she wants to go. And it's great that she, as now a young adult and an athlete that's kind of going through those stages, is there and willing to support other young people pushing through, hopefully through the ranks too.
Too right. Now, there's a couple of the races last week, and we're going to talk about them. But first of all, let's go down to OPP. For the OPP 400, I've got some results. Amazing athletes that took part on down there. Big turnout. In the guys, 9 to 12-year-old, we'll go from 4th place back down to 1st, because I've got from 1st to 4th. Sophia Dixon, Lenny Smith, Zachary Hall, and Henry Ferryman. In the 13 to 5-year-olds, we had Robin Francis, Archie Bright, Frankie Smith, and winning was Harry Jeffrey. Males, overall males, Tobias Jenkins, Ian Solomon. 2nd place, Ramonas Wickers, and 1st place, Ollie Addy. Ollie's doing phenomenal at Wellington at the minute. I mean, he's only a youngster himself.
Yeah.
But doing amazing. In the females, Amelia Solomon, Louise Ferryman, Pip Rainbow, and Shyla Dehaney. Fastest juniors was Harry Jeffrey, fastest male Oliver Addy, and fastest female Shyla Dehaney. And next up, they have got season 2, event 3 coming on Sunday, 30th August. So if you're into it, head on down there. They've got some great pictures. Big shout out to Wendy, part of our UK OCR fringe team, helping, taking videos, pictures, lots of coverage down there. So a big thank you to Wendy and the team down there, sharing them on our social medias. So good.
Amazing. And just talk about juniors again. It's great to hear some of those juniors coming up and coming through. Oliver Alley, of course. Amelia Solomon, I saw it in Scotland. I think she did the super. it's great to hear those names started to come through and push the adults, and especially Ramsey, coming second is no mean feat, beating someone as great as Ramsey.
Yeah, you know what I mean. When it comes to them shorter courses, is absolutely is amazing. I'm not going to say it's not. It's absolutely amazing. But there was another big race that started last week, Will. I did try and get over to go and see the start of this race. Unfortunately, I was laying concrete that day, and the concrete man said he was coming at 7 a.m. So I didn't quite get over to see the start. But it was the spine race, the summer spine race weekend, Will. And we've got some results. Now, I know there's a few people on here that we know. So I think we should go over to I think it was a Sprint North that you said you've seen some of our friends on.
Yes, as it's loading, but congratulations to Andrew Malcolm, very well known within the Spartan and Tough Mudder scene. He was where was he? 11th overall, 8th male in the Summer Sprint North. Absolutely amazing. And I saw him in Scotland, and he was trying to take it easy, ready for this race. I know this was one of his main ones. I am sure we will see him at World's Toughest Mudder as well, because that he's superb endurance racer now.
Definitely. And that's Andrew Malcolm there. There's quite a few people down the list. Not going to go through everyone, but we have got someone who took on the South race, which I thought they was going to challenge. So if we go down to the Summer South Sprint, so this was won by a guy called Jonathan Breeze, who was absolutely amazing. I think he's won every one of them now out there. But if we go down, all the way down to the bottom, have I got the wrong ones there, Will? Let's go back and have a quick look. This is what happens when we're doing things live. Let's check this out again. So, I know what I've done wrong. The guy was taking on the full spine race, Will.
Oh, oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So the full spine race, and our good friend Sean Merriweather was taking it on. Unfortunately, he's retired. He retired at checkpoint 1, which was 10 hours and 54 minutes into the race. He was doing quite well at that point. So I entered nothing else. But does this potentially mean, Will, that he could be fresh for World's Toughest Mudder?
I am hoping that the short answer is yes. And that was a preliminary, got a bit of a niggle. What? World's Toughest Mudder is more important to me, so I am going to pull out. That's what I'm kind of hoping. So it's kind of that preventative, ready for a week and a half's time, where he's going to go and smash World's Toughest Mudder. Let's hope that that's the case.
Me too. I hope it is. We've talked about it on the podcast. We've got Grant Thompson, we've got Dasa Scanella, and we've got Sean Merriweather, hopefully fit and ready to race. 3 great endurance athletes. Grant's been there and thereabouts for the last few years. Dasos took his scalp last year in Infinity, but then Grant took it back over in Scotland, and Dasos was more on the Spartan side of it then, but they're all fit, they're all ready to go. It's going to be one great race at the Worlds.
It's going to be a hell of a race, and I know we talk about World's Toughest Mudder a lot, but it's such a great race. The community aspect is absolutely amazing. But just go back, Summer Spine. I just want to shout out to my fellow 361 ambassador, Vicky Hogg. She ran. Unfortunately, she tripped over, injured some ligaments, so she also had to pull out. I didn't ask for it, but she showed me some of the pictures of her injury, and I really wish I hadn't seen it. But best wishes to Vicky. I hope she comes back fighting strong in the next few months.
Yeah, good luck. Anyone who gets injured, I want them to recover as soon as possible. Now let's talk about prices of nuclear going up. We talked about Steve having to pay £140 for Total Warrior. We know it's 300 plus for World's Toughest Mudder. but how would you like to take on an ultra race, so a backyard ultra, Will, where it's only $1 to enter?
Now, normal people would say, take my money. I am almost never, ever going to do a backyard ultra, whether it's for $1 or whatever. I don't fancy it, but $1 for a race, for actually quite a quirky, and it's so quirky. I think I might want to do it, even if it's just for that one lap. But yeah, any race for $1. Yeah.
Exactly, any race for $1. So this is a backyard ultra race. And it's New York. It's not just $1 though, Will. It's actually $1 per lap. So it is the 4 miles, the 4.167 miles. You've got to do it an hour every hour. But every time you start a lap, you put $1 in a jar. I love this. But the thing is, Will, you're running around pedestrians. This is not on a closed road thing. This is in New York town centre, city centre. Doing 4.167 miles. I mean, is it actually worth $1? I think it's definitely worth $1. I think I'd pay even more to do this, to run in between people in one of the busiest cities in the world. This has got to be one of your bucket list events.
I would agree, and I think running. I love running through cities. I am a massive fan, and I've just signed up for the ballot for London Landmarks half marathon because I really want to do that, and I've tried in the ballot like 4 or 5 times now. I love running through London, so this is kind of a similar thing. The one thing I hate about running through London are the crowds, and I think New York is even worse than this. So you kind of love to hate it, and I think the second thing is, I think lower down it says later on they change the course. So it's not just having to think about running the same lap and running around people. It's then trying to navigate your way around a slightly different course to get to a different place to get to the next lap.
Yeah. I mean, the story behind it, though, I've got to tell the story for our listeners because we can see it on YouTube. But it's a backyard ultra. It came from as a joke between Austin Lowe and Victor Zatoum, who are part of the New York. I mean, this is brilliant. The New York unsanctioned running scene. I mean, I just want to be part of that scene. I need to start up Barnsley's unsanctioned running club. You know, that just says it all, doesn't it? I mean, that's the bee's knees. And they got the idea, and they wrote it down on a napkin in Teddy's Bar and Grill in Brooklyn. And they started an Instagram account that same day. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Last year, 57 runners showed up. I mean, Kieran Calderwood won with 25 laps. So it cost him $25 to win, and took home a grand total of $397. I mean, this is brilliant. You couldn't make this up.
But if you scroll down and they talk about this year's winner, so $397 to the winner last year, and then this year the prize pot was $1,764. So that just shows how much, I think people are doing more laps, but how much it's grown in popularity as well.
I can see this. Someone in the UK is going to take this on. Someone in the UK is definitely going to take this on. I can just see it somewhere, whether it be London, Manchester, Birmingham, whatever. I mean, the health and safety on it's going to be absolutely, unbelievable. It can't be. It's going to be an unsanctioned race on it. And this is it. You've got to start. We've got to start an unsanctioned running club. I can see it now.
That's quite easy. But let's just start an Instagram, or you'll have to start an Instagram page, and we'll just say, hey, we're doing it here. Come and do it. I mean, I guess unsanctioned it's not part of English athletics, so that's quite easy. You just start a running crew, and I am sure if build it and they will come. We will let people know that they can run round Barnsley. I'm sure you can get your measuring wheel out and get a 4.167 route out there somewhere, Alan, and we'll start doing it. Just get people to sign their death waivers, make a copy and paste from Crazy Guys race. Tough guys. Yeah, that's it. just copy and paste their death waiver, and away we go.
Would we have to get everyone who comes into Barnsley Town Centre on that Saturday to get off the buses? We'd be handing them out on the buses as well, just in case a runner bumped into them or something like that.
Nothing to do with us, Governor.
We just get the jar, we'll just hang it up somewhere, yeah, and just like walk away. It's nothing to do with us, Governor.
How that, you know what, that would be absolutely amazing. The good thing about Amsterdam and the transport system, you're just tapping in and tapping out, to make your payment for the public transport. That's what people could do at the start of the lap. You tap in, here's your £1, tap out, that there we're done. And then the next lap there, tap in, here's another £1, and we could just do it like that.
Just we're going to get one of these sum up accounts. Just tap in with your sum up account. Yeah.
There we go. Money
I've
maker.
got visions now of Okra doing this and running off with the money again.
Oh yeah, just imagine like Sean Merriweather finishes his backyard ultra with like 33 laps or something. So I don't know where the money's gone. I think the other guy took it. See you later.
In South Africa. God, they've left us. Oh, James Parrish, come and bail me out. Oh, sorry, that's guys. If some of you listeners are too young to understand where those jokes are coming from, guys, you need to go back in history to the original people that started to do a national governing body. British Obstacle said nothing like that now.
Don't bring back those memories. Zombie guy as well.
Oh, didn't we have some characters back then? I sometimes miss the characters. We have got new characters and things like that. Talking about new characters, Dina Grady, McTuff started his McTuff Fitness. Ian went last week and he told me, he says it's a great starter event for anyone who's trying to get into the fitness racing thing. Don't expect high rocks, don't expect Deca, don't expect Deadly Dozen. But if you want to go along and you want to do a little bit of fitness things, it's great. It got a medal, really nice medal and everything else. And all the kit's new. He says the best part about it was all the kit is actually brand new.
I mean, High Rocks is now so big and actually quite expensive, but it's really difficult to get into. So I think what you almost call feeder races, don't you? That's what you need, a grassroots type thing where hopefully they're making enough money and being able to carry them on. But these feeder races are what's needed to build that community, and whether it's High Rocks as kind of what you'd see as your pinnacle in kind of bunny ears or not. But I think it's kind of how Tough Mudder got me. Again, a lot of people know the stories. Like, do you want to do a Tough Mudder? Yeah, all right then. And I just did loads of obstacle races as well, just to kind of get me training ready for Tough Mudder. And I think that's what builds the community. And unfortunately, because of COVID, that's what killed a lot of the independent obstacle races. But we need these smaller races like Overload and others that are there to help and for people to understand what it's all about.
Yeah, when we first met, we was doing OCR every weekend out, weren't we? We was going to every little race, and we were spending £30 a weekend. We were getting races for 30 and 40. Yeah, we'd go and do Nuclear, which I think back then was about 60. And we'd do a Tough Mudder, which was a similar price, and that. But we would go to literally a race every weekend. I miss the Airfield Anarchies, the Ram Runs, all of those. And
Airfield Anarchy just came up in my memories last week. So it would have been like 6 or 7, probably longer than that actually, from last weekend it was.
So, and if you guys are wondering what they are, so if you're listening to this, you're wondering what are all these events we're talking about, go back into our archives, because me, Will, and Ian, we talked about these events over the space of about a month. Go back down memory lane with us and check them out. Will, there's nothing from me. Did you have anything you wanted to bring up? Because I seem to have taken over the show tonight.
Oh, it's fine. I just like listening to you. There was something that you shared with me about Barkley marathons. Do you remember
Let's
that
talk
one?
about. Yes, I do. Yes, this is This is Damon Hall, who's turned around and he's wrote an article about the Barclays Marathon, and he's put on. It's the headline that got me. Yeah, so we all know the Barclays Marathon. I think last year no one got past three laps. I think they didn't even get. I think a few people got the fun one, and that was about it.
Yeah.
But he's put on the notorious Barclay Marathon is nicer than you think. And this is from a man who's actually ran it 3 times, Will. So have you had time to check this out? Damon Hall, who I think currently resides in the UK now.
Yes.
He came with the UK because he was going to do the UTMB, wasn't he? So he came over here to be close to UTMB because I don't know if you know this, but he doesn't fly. He tries not to fly.
I did not know that.
I read his book, and if I remember rightly, he limits himself to 6 flights a year. So that's 3 times going out of the country and back in, because his philosophy is about green, everything being green. So wherever he can get to, it takes public transport and things like that. So he tries not to fly because apparently he believes that that's very polluting for the atmosphere because it's closer to the atmosphere. So he tries not to fly. So he only flies 3 times a year. He returns, so 6 flights, to go to big events like the Barclays and things like that, which is very interesting. But yeah. So he said the statistics speak for themselves. 20 finishes in 39 years. The Blair Witch Woods, the freezing fog, the mocking lack of assistance. But after my 3rd visit, I need to tell you all that Frozen Head State Park, Tennessee, home of the Barclay Marathons, is simply one of the loveliest and most welcoming places I've ever seen. So, and he goes on to tell you all about it, which is absolutely phenomenal. But he's not saying the Barclays Marathon's nice, but the scenery is.
and the scenery and the people, and I think I guess we started with World's Toughest Mudder. We might finish with World's Toughest Mudder. Everyone knows that when it comes to World's Toughest Mudder, it's yes, you're against other competition, but actually it's everybody against the course. It's everyone taking on the course and seeing if we as a community can beat the course. And what Damo is saying there is basically pit crews and other athletes and other runners, they're all helping each other. If you forget something or you need something, there's always someone around that will help you and give you whatever you need, whether you've missed a head torch or your stove or whatever it's going to be. And actually, you know what? And hopefully, Alan, you saw some of that last year, that actually there's so many different pit crews and there's so many people out there that everyone's there to help each other and to get the best out of the athletes to beat the course, not always necessarily just to beat each other.
100%. You're racing yourself. And I think Leanne said this in one of our chats a few years ago, when she gave me a bit of advice, and she said to me, it's not who you're racing against out there, it's you're racing against yourself. If you set yourself a target, you can either win or lose, and you want to win. So don't set yourself a target that's unrealistic because you don't want to lose, but set yourself one that is realistic and go ahead and beat it. Have I set myself an unrealistic one this year? Who knows? But time will tell. But yeah, I think everyone, if you're going to do something, guys, make yourself a win. You're going to win. If you last the full 24 hours, no matter what mileage you get, whether you get 25 miles, 30, 50, 75 bibs, or even that magic 100 bib, you are going to deserve to be able to walk around at brunch on Monday wearing that bib, because you will have done yourself proud. So on that note, Will, I think we should say goodbye.
Yes, so it's a goodbye for me, Alan.
And listeners, thank you very much indeed. You've been absolute stars listening to us again. Don't forget, take care, keep on running, and above all else, keep listening to our podcasts. Bye, everyone.